So my book is Amos and Boris by William Sieg. He is also the person who wrote the books that the shark movies are based off of. This book is about a great friendship between two very different animals, a whale and a mouse, and then how those friendships can last for years and even lifetimes. So the main character of the story is Amos and Boris. Amos is a mouse and Boris is a whale. They are the only two characters in the book, but I think that the most interesting out of the two of them is probably Boris. When they first meet, he confuses Amos with a fish, and he's kind of perplexed as to how something like a land mammal can exist, and I just thought it was sort of funny. He seems to be the more laid-back and sweet character, while Amos is kind of the more wound up and feisty of the two, which I also found was funny because when I think of a mouse, I think of a sweet, innocent little creature, so I just thought it was interesting. So one of my passages was, one night in a phosphorescent sea, he marveled at the sight of whales spouting luminous water, and later, lying on the deck of his boat, gazing at the immense starry sky, the tiny mouse Amos, a little speck of a living thing in a vast living universe, felt thoroughly akin to it all. Overwhelmed by the beauty and the mystery of everything, he rolled over and right off the deck of his boat and into the sea. So this is the start of Amos's journey. It's right before he meets his new friend, and I just thought this was like a really good example of all the vocabulary that can be used in the classroom to teach kids new words. Luminous, akin, those are all words that sixth graders aren't going to know, so you could create a vocabulary list for them and have them, look up these words that are being read to them. So my second passage is, during that time they developed a deep admiration for one another. Boris admired their delicacy, the quivering daintiness, the light touch, the small voice, and the gem-like radiance of the mouse. Amos admired the bulk, the grandeur, the power, the purpose, the rich voice, and abounding friendliness of the whale. So this kind of shows one of the overall themes of the book, and it really shows how different these creatures are and how these two can still be friends by admiring what they are lacking in themselves that the other creature has. I would absolutely recommend this book to others. It teaches really good lessons and shows how people who are different can still be really good friends. I didn't think I would like this book, but I actually really liked it. It was really well illustrated, and it has really great language for a picture book. I think that this book would be great for like sixth grade. It is a picture book, so they're just coming out of elementary school where they were reading picture books, so it's going to catch their attention with the really pretty illustrations, but then the language is appropriate for older students, and like I said earlier, several words could be used as vocabulary words, but there are not so many of these words that they won't understand what they're reading. So this book was a really great book, and I hope that everyone else can pick it up and read it sometime.